everyone, and welcome to our latest episode of our Partnership Profiles. I'm Jenna Armstrong, CEO of Partnership Lake Houston, and today in the studio we have with us Nicholas Stander, and he's the owner of Stander & Company. So, Nicholas, this is your first time in the studio with us. Welcome. We're glad to have you.
Thank you so much. Thanks for inviting me, and it's an honor to be here.
Yeah. Nicholas has a great story to tell about his whole approach with entrepreneurship, and that's what we're going to be talking about today, and talking about his unique services that he offers that really helps businesses, especially small businesses, as they're going and growing and on their way to success. So I'm going to dive in. A lot of times when people hear Stander & Company, they automatically think bookkeeping, accounting. You're an accountant. That's what you went to school for. You're very good at it. But actually, you have a holistic approach when it comes to working with clients, from offering insurance services, marketing, social media, website development. So it's more than bookkeeping and accounting, and you had this vision all along for your business and what you wanted to be. So tell us how this vision came to be and unfolded.
Well, we always knew we wanted something a little bit different, and the basic blocking and tackling of running a business and the bookkeeping and the taxes, we knew that was something that had to be a part of this thing. But more than that was helping people really learn how to run their businesses and how do you develop strategy. And that's kind of where the entire concept blossomed from. And that was the motivation to add branding and marketing and insurance and those things, because once we help you establish what that strategy is and we help you really solidify that business plan, it helps us to set all of those other things in motion. What is your brand identity? What is it that people are really looking for when they come for your services, and what makes that unique?
Definitely more than just an accounting and bookkeeping services that you've got going. And we think that what you do is pretty unique. And you fit that model of what an entrepreneur is, because entrepreneurs are visionary. And, with us, we work a lot with businesses, and we work a lot with those entrepreneurs that are starting up. And we see the challenge that a lot of entrepreneurs have is having this vision and then translating it into action. But you seem to do that pretty seamlessly. So how did you approach it, and what was your plan? How did you build this team so that you could fulfill this vision that you've had for your business?
So a lot of it kind of started with adaptability. So we actually began with a concept of having just advisory services, and realized that our clients needed more. They needed that basic stuff to keep them legal, sort of things. So, the taxes and the bookkeeping and that. And so we actually had to redo our own business model and back it up a little bit and say, all right, small businesses don't have the back of the house sort of things that a lot of large businesses do, whether that's CFOs or controllers and human resources and all of those sort of items. And so we backed up and said, okay, well, let's make sure that we're providing them with the things that they need for those everyday things that keep you legal and keep your business operating. And then that's when the ideas for the other things came in, where people started to ask for things. And we knew we're always going to be heavy in strategy. Strategy is where my passions lie, entrepreneurial strategy in particular. I love small businesses. I grew up in them. And so there was no looking back for me after I worked for my first big entrepreneur with fast growing companies and finding great people. And so I knew that I wanted to support that. I wanted to take the talents that we had and find a way to help other entrepreneurs make their dreams a reality. And sometimes that's finding more time for themselves. Sometimes that's making more money. It just depends on what those people are looking for. But assembling that team, and what we've done is gone out and found experts in those particular fields so that you're getting the support that you need. I can't do everything. And so we have found great professionals to be able to support us on those things, whether it's in insurance or in branding strategy. And it's been a lot of flexibility on our part. And I think that's one of the things that really makes small business and entrepreneurship great.
One of the things that Mark and I, we sat down with you in the fall, and we worked with you on several seminars, and we were, sharing stories about businesses struggling through this pandemic and what can we do to help them. And you had such a great story to tell about how you approached helping your businesses. I want you to tell that. How did Standard & Company help businesses through this troubling season that we're in?
Sure. So our mission has always been to support entrepreneurship and small businesses. And so when this happened, we knew the best way that we could help was to try to provide information. And for us, this was about trying to help the local economy stay stable. And so the information that we had, we wanted to make sure that we were just getting it out to anybody and everybody who needed it. And so it was great to be able to partner with you guys and have these seminars to be able to let them know what was going on with PPP loans. And, we fielded a lot of phone calls from people who were not clients and trying to help them out. And, hey, this is the paperwork that you need.
But I know it was more than that. I remember we were talking one day and we were asking about your experience, and you had said, it's more than just us doing their bookkeeping and offering advice with PPP. We're building strategies for them of how to get through this. Bring us what you do, bring us your business plans. Let's build a strategy to get you through this pandemic and set you up to be successful. And once this ends, you are golden.
Absolutely. And it was an all hands on deck sort of thing for anybody who could come in. We were trying to bring us what's going on. Let's talk about your products. Let's talk about the services that you're offering, and let's see how we can adapt them short term and long term in order to be able to survive this downturn. Whether it was, and most of the time you're talking about strategy changes, right? And so we were able to help
Which
people.
Can be very scary for a business, right?
Absolutely. And, we try to make sure that, and again, I guess that's the accountant in me backing up that creative branding sort of person. We make calculated risks, right? And so we want to make sure that the things that we're doing, we can track and understand. But, when the market demands that we change, we needed to change. And that's what happened, certainly during COVID, that especially in places that were shutting down, there were still people out there buying. And we had to come up with different ways to design services and distribution channels to be able to get to those people.
So pretty amazing stuff for just a bookkeeping accounting, right?
Right.
I mean, your company, your business really does so many great things to help those small businesses in all facets of their business. And we think that that's, pretty amazing. We talk about the pandemic. Before that, there was Hurricane Harvey. Before that, there were other, smaller disasters. This is not the last disaster epidemic that we're going to go through. I think we've all realized that by now, right?
Enough once in a lifetime events.
Yes, these incidents are going to happen. So what is your best advice for businesses on how they can be prepared when the unknown happens?
I think there's two things. There's being prepared as a business and being organized, and then there's relationships. Being prepared for me is saying that you're keeping up with your financial statements. Your tax returns have been filed. Your payroll taxes are filed. Those basic things that we've been talking about that people like to wait and do once a year instead of every single month. But in running a business, these are things that you need to be keeping up with. And I know it's not necessarily the most fun part of your business, but it's something that you have to have. And then the second item that I mentioned was relationships, and that is knowing your team of professionals. So your CPA, your banker, your insurance agent, and your attorney. Those four for sure. We don't want your first experience with a banker to be when times are really, really bad. These are people that you should be having talks with on a regular basis, quarterly, monthly, annually, something, so that it's not the first time. And that level of relationship helps out tremendously, because not only are you going into a situation where you know somebody and it's more comfortable and we can work through these things and they've seen your business, but there is the understanding of what your business has been doing. And so our ability to respond to you is so much faster, because I already know what your business is. The banker already knows what the cycles of your business are. The insurance agent knows what he needs to do on your policies. All of those things can happen so much faster if you're maintaining those relationships.
And speaking of relationships, we've certainly enjoyed our relationship with you guys. We've worked with you for years now, and you're our neighbor down the street. And I know you help a lot of nonprofits in the area too through your service, not only on hand board, and your wife Emily is on our board, and all the service that you give back to the community is amazing. So thank you for our relationship.
Well, thank you. We appreciate you guys so much.
All right, and that's Nicholas Stander with Stander and Company, and that wraps up this episode of our partnership profile. And stay safe out there, and we'll talk to you soon.